On a seemingly ordinary afternoon, the hospital buzzed with life as it did every day. Patients filled the waiting rooms, each with their own stories and worries, while nurses moved swiftly from one task to another. The scent of antiseptic mingled with quiet murmurs and the soft beeping of medical equipment. In the midst of this usual scene sat Mrs. Helen, an 82-year-old grandmother known for her kindness and gentle smile. Mrs. Helen was here for a routine checkup, nothing out of the ordinary. She had the air of someone who had lived a full life and carried stories in her eyes. Dressed in a soft floral blouse and glasses perched delicately on her nose, she spoke softly with a nearby nurse about her garden and the books she was reading. Her voice was calm and soothing, bringing comfort to those around her. As the minutes passed, Mrs. Helen continued to engage those nearby with quiet anecdotes. She had a sparkle in her eye and a soft chuckle that echoed through the room. Despite her age, she appeared vibrant and full of life. Children passing by would sometimes stop to smile at her, and fellow patients would exchange kind words. This moment, filled with calm and connection, seemed like any other in the hospital's daily rhythm. Little did anyone know, this peaceful afternoon was about to change in an instant. A sudden shift in Mrs. Helen's demeanor went unnoticed at first. Her smile faded, her gaze became distant, and a subtle trembling began in her right hand. She shifted uncomfortably in her chair, but tried to maintain her composure. The nurse nearby glanced over, sensing something was off, but unsure what it might be. Without warning, Mrs. Helen's right arm grew weak and began to fall limply by her side. Her words became slow and slurred, and she struggled to form sentences. The nurse's eyes widened as she quickly recognized the classic signs of a stroke. The room, once filled with calm conversation, now grew tense. A few people stood, unsure of what was happening, while medical staff prepared to respond. Immediately, the nurse called for assistance, her voice steady but urgent. "Stroke," she announced quietly but firmly. Within moments, hospital personnel sprang into action. Doctors and nurses gathered swiftly, preparing to move Mrs. Helen to the emergency room. The pace of the hospital shifted dramatically, replacing routine with urgent purpose as the team worked together to save a life. Mrs. Helen was gently lifted onto a gurney, her frail body surrounded by attentive caregivers. The hospital halls echoed with the soft sounds of wheels rolling and medical equipment being readied. Every second counted as the team prepared for rapid intervention. Despite the sudden chaos, a quiet hope lingered, a belief that this story was far from over. As the emergency team wheeled Mrs. Helen toward the treatment area, the sounds of monitors and alarms began to grow louder. The staff communicated with swift precision, discussing symptoms and preparing medications. The weight of the moment settled in, lives hung in the balance, and every action mattered. Outside, the hospital seemed unaware of the urgent battle unfolding within its walls. In this controlled chaos, a quiet strength permeated the air. The dedication of every nurse, doctor, and technician was evident in their precise movements and steady voices. For Mrs. Helen, this was no longer just a hospital visit. It was a fight for life. And for those around her, it was a reminder of the fragility of existence and the resilience of the human spirit. This ordinary hospital afternoon had become a pivotal moment, a crossroads between life and death. Mrs. Helen, once smiling and serene, now faced an uncertain fate. Yet within that uncertainty lay the seed of a miracle, one that would soon reveal itself through love, hope, and an unbreakable bond. The moment Mrs. Helen's symptoms escalated, the hospital atmosphere shifted dramatically. Medical staff moved with swift precision, their faces etched with urgency. Nurses grabbed emergency carts, doctors communicated clearly through headsets, and the waiting room emptied in a heartbeat. Time compressed into a race against the inevitable, as every second was precious. Mrs. Helen was swiftly transported to the emergency room, her fragile body strapped securely to the gurney. The rhythmic beeping of monitors was joined by the sound of wheels rolling across linoleum floors. Nearby patients and visitors exchanged worried glances, sensing the gravity of the situation, while the medical team prepared for immediate intervention. As the team worked to stabilize Mrs. Helen, her condition rapidly deteriorated. Her heartbeat faltered, rhythm becoming erratic and weak. The lead physician barked orders, calling for a crash cart and defibrillator. The room filled with the urgency of a life hanging by a thread, each moment weighted with tension and hope. Suddenly, the monitors flatlined, the unmistakable silence of a stopped heart. Panic flickered across the faces of the team, but was quickly replaced by determination. Chest compressions began immediately, hands pounding against Mrs. Helen's chest with relentless energy. The battle between life and death had reached its peak. Seconds stretched into what felt like eternity as the team fought to revive her. Every compression was a plea to the universe, a desperate attempt to pull her back from the void. Nurses monitored vital signs while doctors administered emergency drugs. The atmosphere was thick with tension, yet beneath it lay a fragile thread of hope. Meanwhile, in another part of the hospital, Anna, Helen's granddaughter, was arriving. She had just landed from a flight and was rushing to the hospital, unaware of the crisis unfolding. Her heart raced as she made her way through the corridors, fueled by a mixture of fear and hope. Clutching a small bouquet she had brought for her grandmother, Anna's mind raced with memories of her grandmother, her laughter, wisdom, and endless warmth. She prayed silently as she neared the emergency area, unaware that her presence might soon become the difference between life and death. The hospital's sterile halls seemed colder now, echoing the gravity of what was to come. Back in the emergency room, the defibrillator pads were placed on Mrs. Helen's chest. A jolt of electricity surged through her body, and the team held their breath. The monitors flickered uncertainly, then beeped, briefly, before silence returned. Another cycle of compressions began without hesitation, every action coordinated and precise. Minutes felt like hours as the struggle continued. The medical team rotated roles to maintain the strength of compressions, each person fueled by a shared determination. Outside, the hospital continued its routine unaware, but inside, a battle raged, a fight not just for a life but for the love and memories bound to it. Then, just as hope seemed to waver, a faint heartbeat returned to the monitor. A collective breath was released, and the team redoubled their efforts. Mrs. Helen's eyes fluttered beneath closed lids, a fragile sign that life was fighting back. The room held its breath, waiting for a miracle. Anna's footsteps echoed down the sterile hospital corridors as she hurried towards the emergency room. Her mind was a whirlwind of emotions, fear, hope, and desperation, all intermingled. Clutching a small bouquet meant to brighten her grandmother's day, she barely noticed the hum of hospital machinery or the hurried voices around her. Her focus was singular: reach her grandmother in time. As she neared the emergency entrance, Anna could hear the faint beeping of monitors and the muffled voices of doctors coordinating a rescue. Her heart pounded in her chest as she pushed open the double doors, stepping into the heart of the chaos. The sterile smell of antiseptic mingled with the palpable tension, reminding her that life often hangs by the thinnest thread. Medical personnel briefly hesitated as Anna slipped past their instructions to wait outside. Their eyes, weary yet alert, registered both concern and understanding. They allowed her to approach the patient's bedside, sensing the deep connection between granddaughter and grandmother. Anna's hand trembled as she reached out to grasp the cold, pale hand of Mrs. Helen. "Grandma, it's me, Anna. I'm here," she whispered, voice breaking with emotion. Tears streamed down her face as she pressed gently against her grandmother's lifeless hand. Despite the chaos surrounding her, Anna's presence brought a profound calmness, as if her love could pierce the veil of unconsciousness, holding her grandmother captive. At that exact moment, the heart monitor beeped once, Then again, the steady rhythm returned to the screen, faint but unmistakable. The medical team paused, exchanging astonished glances. Helen's eyelids fluttered open slowly, revealing eyes that barely focused but unmistakably recognized Anna's face. It was a moment suspended in time, a fragile miracle unfolding before them. Anna's sobs of relief mingled with whispered prayers as she tightened her grip on her grandmother's hand. The sterile walls seemed to fade, replaced by a warmth emanating from the bond they shared. For a brief moment, the chaos of the hospital became irrelevant. All that mattered was this precious second where love transcended the boundaries of life and death. Doctors quickly resumed their assessments, checking vital signs and administering medication to stabilize Helen's fragile condition. Yet even as they worked, the team was visibly moved by what they had witnessed. A story of science and humanity intertwined, reminding everyone that medicine is not just about treatment, but about hope and connection. Helen's lips moved faintly, barely audible. "I heard you," she whispered, eyes glistening with recognition. Anna leaned closer, tears spilling freely. This fragile communication marked the beginning of a new chapter, a return from the edge, fueled by the unbreakable love between grandmother and granddaughter. The hours that followed were filled with cautious optimism. Helen's body, once frail and unresponsive, began to respond to treatment. Nurses monitored her carefully, doctors adjusted medications, and Anna stayed by her side, a constant source of comfort and encouragement. The hospital transformed from a place of fear into a sanctuary of healing and hope. In the quiet moments between interventions, Helen's gaze would occasionally fix on Anna's face, as if drawing strength from her presence. It was clear that this bond, the love and familiarity, had done more than words could express. It had become the lifeline that bridged the gap between despair and survival. Following the miraculous return of her heartbeat, Mrs. Helen's journey to recovery began in earnest. The medical team worked tirelessly, monitoring her vital signs with unwavering attention. Every breath she took was a victory, a testament to the resilience of the human body and spirit. Slowly, the fragile lines on the monitors began to stabilize, offering hope to all who watched. Helen's eyes, once dull and lifeless, now sparkled faintly as awareness returned. She began to respond to gentle touch and familiar voices. Nurses spoke softly, encouraging her to hold on, to fight. Each tiny movement was celebrated, a finger twitch, a slow blink, a weak but meaningful squeeze of a hand. It was the slow dance of healing, filled with quiet triumphs. Ina never left her grandmother's side, offering comfort through whispered words and steady presence. She recounted stories from home, reminding Helen of family gatherings, shared meals, and laughter. These memories seemed to rekindle a spark within Helen, stirring the life that had momentarily faded. Love became the bridge that connected past to present. As the days passed, Helen's strength gradually returned. The medical team cautiously reduced supportive measures, confident in her progress, but prepared for setbacks. Physical therapy began, gentle movements to restore mobility and muscle tone. Each small step forward was a celebration, a beacon of hope shining brighter than before. Throughout her recovery, Helen often spoke of a strange sensation, of hearing Anna's voice calling her back from darkness. She described a fleeting glimpse of light and warmth, like a presence guiding her back to life. These accounts stirred something deep in those who heard them, a reminder of the mysteries that sometimes lie beyond science. The hospital staff, initially skeptical, found themselves inspired by Helen's story. It was not merely the medical marvel that captured their hearts, but the profound human connection at its core. The miracle of recovery was woven with threads of love, faith, and unwavering hope, a testament to the power of relationships in healing. Helen's gradual return to consciousness was accompanied by moments of vulnerability. She sometimes struggled to speak or remember simple things, but her determination never wavered. Supported by her family and caregivers, she embraced each challenge with courage, finding strength in the love that surrounded her. In one poignant moment, Helen squeezed Anna's hand firmly and whispered, "Your voice brought me back." Tears welled in Anna's eyes as she realized the profound impact of her presence. It was a moment that transcended words, proof that sometimes the most powerful medicine is simply being there for someone you love. The days turned into weeks, and Helen's health steadily improved. Conversations grew easier, smiles returned, and laughter filled the hospital room once more. The transformation was slow but undeniable, a journey from the brink of death back to the vibrant life she cherished. As Helen prepared for discharge, the entire medical team celebrated her remarkable recovery. What had begun as a near tragedy became a story of hope and resilience. For Helen and Anna, it was a chapter that reaffirmed the incredible strength found in love, connection, and the human spirit's will to survive. As Helen prepared to leave the hospital, a mixture of relief and contemplation filled her heart. The sterile environment, once overwhelming, had become a place of healing and transformation. Every step she took toward the exit was a step away from uncertainty and toward a future filled with renewed hope. The experience had altered her perspective on life, reminding her of its fragility and preciousness. Ina remained close by her grandmother's side, her presence a comforting anchor amidst the whirlwind of emotions. Their bond, strengthened by the ordeal, radiated with quiet resilience. Anna understood now more than ever the importance of cherishing every moment and the profound impact love has in moments of crisis and recovery. Their journey had woven a new tapestry of connection between them. Throughout Helen's recovery, memories of the moment she was brought back from the brink remained vivid. She often recalled Anna's voice as a lifeline that reached beyond consciousness. This memory was a beacon of comfort during the difficult days, illustrating the power of human connection. It taught her that healing is not just physical, but deeply emotional and spiritual. The hospital staff shared Helen's story as a source of inspiration and hope. For them, it was a reminder that medicine goes beyond procedures and treatments. It is about touching lives and nurturing spirits. The tale of recovery and love underscored the human element in healthcare, reaffirming their dedication to compassionate care. For Anna, the experience deepened her appreciation for family and the present moment. The ordeal underscored the fragility of life and the power of presence. She vowed to never take these gifts for granted, knowing firsthand how love and attention could make a difference between life and death. Helen's survival was a testament to resilience and the unpredictable nature of life. It challenged everyone involved to cherish their loved ones more deeply and to embrace the uncertainties with hope. Her journey became more than a medical case. It was a profound human story of strength and love. The bond between Helen and Anna grew stronger than ever. Forged through shared struggle and triumph, their experience illuminated the invisible threads that connect us, woven from care, hope, and unyielding love. Together, they moved forward with a renewed sense of purpose and gratitude. As Helen stepped outside the hospital, she carried with her a renewed sense of life's beauty. Every breath, every smile, every moment was a gift. She understood now more than ever that miracles often emerge quietly, through the simple acts of love and presence that sustain us in the darkest times. In the months that followed, Helen and Anna shared their story to inspire others. Their journey became a beacon of hope, reminding those facing hardship that love can be the strongest medicine. Their tale transcended hospital walls, becoming a universal message about courage, connection, and the enduring power of hope. Ultimately, the moment she returned was more than a story of survival. It was a celebration of human spirit and the profound impact of love and presence. It taught that even in life's greatest trials, hope shines brightest, and connection is the greatest miracle of all. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more emotional, true stories from around the world. Your support helps us share more inspiring moments like this. Hit the bell icon so you never miss a new episode.